Retirement doesn't have to mean slowing down, especially if you're looking in Denver. The truth is, some of the most active upscale lifestyles aren't in the mountains. They're right here within the city limits. And we're going to go over three of the most popular areas that I have recently retired people looking at: Cherry Creek, Wash Park, and downtown. Now, each of these neighborhoods has its own unique personality, its own price tag, and its own pros and cons. And I've been helping couples retire here to Denver and the surrounding areas for over a decade. And all of these tips and advice I'm going to give you and show you are because these are the exact things that my clients look for when deciding where to retire around town. So, in this video, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of what it's really like to retire in Denver's most desirable city neighborhoods, the lifestyle, the housing, the amenities, and the hidden details that don't show up on any brochure. And my name is Alex Saldana. I've been a local realtor in Denver for over 15 years. And if you ever want to make sense of the Denver market, you can just reach out to me. Here's my cell phone below. Feel free to call, text anytime, or you can download the Denver Luxury Retirement Guide by clicking on this QR code or in the link in the description below. All right, first up, Cherry Creek. If you want walkable luxury, this is the quintessential picture of it. Just imagine grabbing coffee in the morning right outside your doorstep, walking to the Cherry Creek Trail, then hitting a boutique or art gallery all before lunch easily. Dinner's just a short walk away. It's polished, it's very social, and really designed for people who want things at their fingertips. And if you're the type who likes to travel, lock the door and go. Condos, townhomes here make the majority of the real estate, and it makes everything super duper easy. Cherry Creek is perfect for someone who wants convenience, culture, and that high end lock and leave lifestyle. So let's talk about what's available in the real estate market. So, real estate wise, yeah, Cherry Creek is one of the pricier markets in Denver, but there's good reason for it. The average home value is north of 1.1 million, and it's common for new luxury condos or single family homes to go for several million. Most of what you're going to find here are luxury condos and townhomes. There are some single family homes. They're tucked in, but they're pretty rare and they're fairly expensive. 3, 4, 5 million is not uncommon. What people love is the low maintenance lifestyle, the newer builds, the lock and leave security, valet garages, and the high end finishes here. So if your retirement dream is less about mowing lawns and more about booking trips, Cherry Creek really fits the bill. So, what stuff is available today in the Cherry Creek market? Well, let's take a look. So, first of all, the Cherry Creek area is divided by Colorado on the east, University on the west, about 6th Avenue on the north, all the way down to Alameda. And what you're going to find here is that the Cherry Creek Shopping Center takes up a large bulk of the Cherry Creek neighborhood. And you're going to have a number of condos really close over boutique shopping, restaurants, things like that. And then you're going to have mostly new builds scattered throughout the rest of the neighborhood. So, just giving you an idea of what's out there, single family wise, if that's what you want. Most of the properties are going to be new builds similar to this: 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, little over 6,000 square feet. So you're getting close to that $1,000 a square foot range, but it's going to be top end finishes, luxury property. A lot of these properties are negotiable with the furnishings that are involved in it. A lot of these might be second homes for people, fireplaces galore, smaller yards and smaller lot sizes. You're not going to have 10,000 square foot lots here in Cherry Creek, but that's not why you buy Cherry Creek. You buy here for the location. Heavily landscaped is not uncommon. Botanic gardens are close. You attract people that want this incredible lifestyle and they're willing to pay for it. Many of the homes here in Cherry Creek are as luxury as you could possibly have in the Denver market. So if you don't necessarily need a single family home, the next option will be something like this. It's considered a townhouse. It's half of a duplex essentially, where they took one larger lot, they built one property, dividing wall in the middle, and so each party has their own half of a house, but it's still 4,200 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 5 baths at 2.25 million. And again, you're going to have really high end finishes throughout. The developers that develop in this neighborhood know the profile buyer and they know they can't cheap out on builder grade quality anything. These are still going to be large homes, but the lot sizes are going to be small. So you're not going to have that exterior maintenance that you would have with a single family home. And then on the condo side, you have a number of options that go all the way down to about the 500s for some of the condos. Generally, the HOAs are going to be on the higher side, north of four, five, $600 a month. But most of them are going to have incredible amenities to them. So we've got something like this: 800,000, two bedroom, two bath, 1,240 square feet. Now, there's going to be a big mix in the condo market, finish level wise. You're going to have more of the standard finish level, which is what I would call this. They're nice KitchenAid appliances. They're nice cabinets, but this is not custom as you know what we were seeing in the first two properties, the single family and the townhome there. But still very nice, much more reasonable on the size at 1,240 square feet. And so if you're looking for low maintenance, this fits the bill, right? A small patio area. This is nothing crazy to take care of. The HOA is going to take care of all the exterior. You're going to have covered parking, and many of these properties here are going to have gyms, inside pools, tennis courts, pickleball courts, things like that. And then you've got something like this, a little bit more luxury on the condo level, more views, and you're going to have your pick in Cherry Creek if things like mountain views are important to you or city views are important to you. You know, this is definitely a little bit of a step up, a newer building. And again, you're going to have views. Yes, there are a lot of new builds going up here. So you might have cranes for a year or two within your line of sight, unfortunately. But hey, any area that's getting developed highly, it's just not something that you can avoid. So for something like this, you're at 1.8 million, two bedrooms, two baths, 1,333 square feet. So very similar to the last property we looked at, but quite a bit newer. Gonna have a few more amenities for a property like this: rooftop deck, rooftop views, just a remarkable property. Now, for outdoors and recreation, Cherry Creek makes it incredibly easy to stay active. The Cherry Creek Trail runs right through the neighborhood. It's a paved path that stretches about 40 miles, which is perfect for biking, walking, rollerblading if you're feeling a little bit old school, e-bikes. You can literally hop on right outside your condo and ride all the way downtown or head out into the suburbs all the way to Chatfield Reservoir. For sports, you've got tennis and pickleball courts nearby galore, both public and private options. Gates Tennis Center is just minutes away, and it's one of the largest public tennis facilities in Colorado with 20 outdoor courts plus pickleball courts that are always buzzing and active. Many private clubs around Cherry Creek also offer organized leagues and clinics, so whether you're a casual player or you're competitive, you're going to find your spot. Now, golf is nearby too, with the Denver Country Club just to the south. And when you want hiking, you can drive 20, 30 minutes just to the west and you're in the foothills easily with trailheads everywhere. Now, Cherry Creek is one of those rare spots where you can go from a city life in the morning to a mountain hike by lunch easily. So, amenities and daily conveniences, and this is where Cherry Creek just really shines. Of course, you've got the Cherry Creek Shopping Center, which is a mecca for shopping for the entire Denver metro area, Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, and all the designer shops you could possibly want. Then, right across the street, you have the Cherry Creek North, which is 16 blocks of boutiques, art galleries, jewelers, spas, and some of Denver's best restaurants. Everyday needs, great. You've got it covered. There's a Whole Foods, a Target, multiple gyms, yoga, Pilates studios, everything you could want, dry cleaners, pharmacies, even boutique pet shops, all within a short walk or drive. You can literally live very car light here in Cherry Creek if you want to. And dining, the food scene is top shelf. Upscale steakhouses, rooftop brunch spots, cozy wine bars, coffee shops on nearly every single corner. It's not just convenience, it's a lifestyle built into your daily routine in Cherry Creek. Now, on to one of the biggest advantages for retirees in Cherry Creek is healthcare. You're literally minutes from Rose Medical Center, which is one of the top rated hospitals in Denver, especially for cardiac and orthopedic care. Also close by, Presbyterian St. Luke's, National Jewish Health for respiratory and specialty care, and Porter Adventist for surgery and spine. And inside Cherry Creek itself, there are dozens of medical clinics, everything from dermatology and dental to physical therapy and wellness center. And many of the practices here cater specifically to older adults. So you've got personalized care without having the long commutes. So whether it's routine checkups, emergencies, or specialty medicine, you've got world class options at your fingertips just minutes away. Now, what about travel? Well, by car, you're about 30 to 40 minutes from DIA, and being central gives you multiple route options too. You can take I 25 or 225 or E 470, depending on what traffic's like. And if you don't feel like driving, well, downtown's Union Station is about 10 minutes away. And from there, the A line train takes you straight to DIA in under 40 minutes. So, for anyone who wants to travel a lot, this is one of the easiest neighborhoods to get in and out of Denver from. All right, so let's hit on the highlights of Cherry Creek. It's going to give you luxury walkability, one of the few Denver neighborhoods where you can ditch the car. It's going to give you a social, upscale environment with tons of dining, arts, and shopping. Active lifestyle built in tennis, pickleball, gyms, trails, golf, all right here. Healthcare, peace of mind, top hospitals and clinics within just minutes. And then, of course, easy travel, right? Multiple routes to DIA, plus train access is nearby. It's also one of the most complete neighborhoods in Denver if you want both luxury and convenience. Now, on the flip side, what to watch out for? What are the cons of Cherry Creek? Well, a few things to keep in mind. Price tag. You're going to be paying a premium to live in Cherry Creek. Housing, dining, even parking is going to come at a cost. HOA fees can be steep in luxury condos and townhomes. It's not uncommon to have eight, 900 to $1,000 a month in HOA fees, but you do get a number of things in exchange for those HOA costs. Density and activity here. Cherry Creek is lively, which is part of its charm. But if you're looking for quiet streets and a big backyard, it's not it. Privacy. Living in condos or dense neighborhoods means less space between you and your neighbors. So you kind of got to get along with everybody. So it's not for everyone, but for the right buyer, it is hard to beat. So if your vision of retirement is walkable luxury, coffee, trails, tennis, and dinner all steps from your door, and you don't mind paying for convenience, yeah, Cherry Creek is where you're going to want to be. Next up, Wash Park, which this is Denver's classic neighborhood charm. And in fact, it falls as the number one neighborhood in Denver year after year for lots of reasons. It's historic. It's got tree lined streets, front porches, and the whole community centered around one of the city's most loved parks. You're going to see people jogging the 2.5 mile loop around the park every single morning and evening. You're going to see people enjoying the lakes there or just walking dogs and strollers at all hours of the day. It is a mecca for outdoor activity all within the park. It is beautiful. When you see it, you'll know why. It feels safe, though. It feels welcoming and it has that small town vibe, even though you're just minutes from downtown. So if you're someone who wants a community feel with a little more space than Cherry Creek, Wash Park might check all your boxes. Now, real estate wise, there's a mix of old and new. You've got beautiful bungalows, you've got beautiful new builds, you've got older Victorians, and it gives the area its character and charm. And then you've got modern rebuilds where people have scraped and built luxury $5 million homes. Median prices hover around 1.2 million, but plenty of the newer builds go for much more than that. The big draw, these are single family homes with yards, which is rare so close to the city. So if you want that classic front porch, tree lined street, and the feel of a real neighborhood, Wash Park is where you're going to find it. Just know you'll be competing with families and professionals, so it's always in demand. But what can you get right now in today's market, real estate wise? Well, first of all, Wash Park is going to be surrounded by Alameda to the north, so a little bit south of Cherry Creek that we just looked at, Louisiana or I 25 to the south, University to the east, and Broadway Lincoln to the west. And it's going to be divided into East Wash Park and West Wash Park. East Wash Park is considered a little higher in demand, a little bit more expensive houses, but let's be real. Both parts are rather expensive. For single family homes, you're going to find a lot on the newer side, like this home, 3.75 million, 3 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,200 square feet. And in this price range, you're going to have well thought out houses that are built well. Construction is good. Again, the developers here know who their profile home buyer is. You've also had a lot of families scrape and build their own and sell several years later. And so it's going to be more than your just builder grade quality type of stuff. These are going to be well thought out homes that are done right, and you're going to be happy with them for years and years to come. On the magnificent side, on the upper end, you're going to have something like this at 6 million over on Franklin Street. And, again, similar to Cherry Creek, like people put a lot of thought into this stuff. And you're seeing right here Wash Park with the mountains in the background. You don't always get that view. That's a drone shot. So don't be fooled that you're going to have great mountain views from your property. So a little trickery here. But this one's on a double lot and super modern style, 5 bedrooms, 6 baths. 6,400 square feet. So, again, flirting around that $1,000 a square foot mark, which is not uncommon for new build properties. So, on the little bit more affordable side at 1.4 million, you have something like this, which was likely a bungalow at one point that they popped the top on. You can see the brick on the underside. You got the stucco up above. That's telling me someone did a big renovation at some point, made it what they wanted. And this is going to maybe be some older major systems, right? HVAC, plumbing wise. But maybe they went down to the studs and renovated the whole thing. But at this price, maybe not. A lot of the finishes are going to be really nice. It's going to be a beautiful, loved home, but it's going to be maybe a step up from builder grade. You're not going to get the high end finishes like the properties and like the new builds we just were looking at. And then there are some condos on the north end of the park here where, for around the 500s, 600s, you can have 1 and 2 bedroom condos around 1,200 square feet that, again, are going to be nice, but these are literally right off the park. Front of your doorstep, a couple hundred yards away, and you are in the park. So if you're looking for low maintenance, ease of living, Wash Park can get you covered here. Now, outdoor access and recreation, well, this is the reason why most people fall in love with Wash Park. Park itself is 155 acres with 2 lakes, flower gardens, tennis courts, and miles of paths. It's basically your backyard if you live here. And when you drive through the neighborhood, you're going to see everybody walking towards the park from every direction. You've got the tennis and pickleball courts right in the park, and they're always going to be busy with leagues and casual players just hanging out. It's one of the best places in the city if you want to stay competitive or just get in a few games every week. The loop is 2.6 miles around the park, which is perfect for running, biking, walking, and it's always filled with energy. You also have easy access to the Cherry Creek Trail and other bike paths that connect across the cities, same as Cherry Creek. It's easy to get a 40-mile bike ride in straight from your front door. And if staying active outdoors is a priority, Wash Park makes it effortless for you. Now, even though Wash Park is mostly residential, you're surrounded by a ton of great local amenities. On the east side, you've got Old South Gaylord Street, which is full of restaurants, coffee shops, boutiques. On the west side, you've got South Pearl Street, which has weekly farmers markets, and it's our favorite farmers market that we go to. It's got street fairs and more dining options. You're also just a few minutes from Cherry Creek for luxury shopping. And downtown Denver is just a short drive for theater, concerts, sports games, things of that nature. And for day-to-day life, groceries, gyms, yoga studios, hardware stores, it's all going to be really nearby. You're never more than about a 10-minute drive from anything you need, but you still get the quiet residential feel in the neighborhood itself. Now, in Cherry Creek, you really don't need a car. You don't have to have one to get around. In Wash Park, it's going to be much more of a necessity. Now, one of the best parts of Wash Park is how close you are to some of Denver's top hospitals. Porter Adventist Hospital is just south of the park and is highly rated for orthopedic and surgical care. Rose Medical Center, Swedish Medical Center, and Denver Health are all within a 10 to 15-minute drive. There's also dozens of smaller clinics and specialty practices nearby, everything from dental to physical therapy. So you get that community neighborhood feel, but still have the world-class healthcare just minutes away. Now, travel from Wash Park is pretty straightforward. You're about 30 to 40 minutes from DIA by car. You can also take I-25 north and connect to I-70 or take E-470 around, depending on the traffic to get there. And Union Station is about 15 minutes away if you'd rather catch the A-Line train to DIA. So whether you drive yourself or grab a car service like Uber, Wash Park makes travel pretty darn easy. Skiing, going to be about the standard anywhere in Denver, about an hour 15, hour and 30-minute drive on most weekdays, about 2 hours on the weekends. So what are the pros? Let's break it down for Wash Park. Neighborhood charm, tree-lined streets, historic homes, and a community vibe. Wash Park has you covered. It's got an unbeatable outdoor lifestyle. Tennis, pickleball, lakes, and the famous Wash Park Loop, of course. And you've got your pick of single-family homes with yards here, so having a dog is a top priority for you, and having a yard, we've got you covered. Then, of course, convenience. You're close to Cherry Creek without being in it. You're close to downtown without being in it, but yet you're close to all the major hospitals, and then community events, farmers markets, festivals, and an active social calendar around Wash Park. Cons, what to look out for in Wash Park? Well, It's pricey and it's competitive. Demand is always high in Wash Park, so bidding wars are common if something is priced appropriately. There are older homes. Many do need updates or full renovations depending on the price points that you're looking at. Traffic and parking around the park can be a headache on weekends and summer evenings. That stretch on Downing does get pretty darn busy, but when you live there, you know how to avoid it. And you're going to have some noise and some crowds, especially if you're right off of the park. You're going to be in the middle of the action, which isn't for everyone. So, if your vision of retirement includes morning walks around a lake, playing pickleball with friends, and living in a neighborhood where people actually wave when they walk by, Wash Park could be a perfect fit for you. It's active, it's beautiful, and it's one of Denver's most classic neighborhoods. And to see things in much more detail, just go ahead and download my Denver Luxury Retirement Guide by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link in the description below. And finally, let's talk about downtown Denver because we can't forget about talking about Denver without talking about downtown Denver. And this is going to include Lodo, Union Station, and the core city center. Now, there's going to be a few neighborhoods here as you get familiarized with it, and you're going to definitely find what your niche is and what you really like. So if Cherry Creek is kind of polished and Wash Park is kind of charming, downtown is kind of energy, right? The vibe here is urban. It's a little bit more exciting. You've got theaters, museums, the arenas downtown here. Got young professionals. You've got a mix of empty nesters and retirees who don't want to give up the buzz of having a city life. So if you're the type who loves to walk out your front door and have something happening every single night of the week, this is where you're going to feel at home. Now, real estate here in downtown is all about condos and lofts, right? Think historic brick warehouses converted into modern lofts, high rise towers with floor to ceiling windows, luxury condos, full amenities, gyms, swimming pools, you name it. Now, pricing varies a lot. You can find smaller condos in the 5 to 700 range, but most luxury units with views or in new buildings are going to be easily across $1 million. Penthouses, several million, no problem, with some of the best views in the world. What you're paying for here is zero maintenance and maximum convenience. Parking is usually garage or valet. HOAs cover building amenities, and your focus is on lifestyle, not yard work. So in downtown Denver, you're going to have several different pockets that may or may not appeal to you, like Confluence Park area, which is over by the Platte River, which is really nice and rather quiet, even though you're right down in the mix of it. You've got kind of the ballpark district to the north of it. Then you've got Union Station here, which is right by Union Station. And then you've got some mix of, different type of feeling areas like lofts and things like that throughout the rest of downtown. But just to give you an idea, like we've got something like this 1700 Bassett Street, which is in the glass towers, and it's going to be a beautiful luxury style condo, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,300 square feet for 1.1 million. The amenities here are off the charts. You've got a beautiful rooftop pool. You've got a full gym, hot tubs, you name it, outdoor grills. It's just incredible. You got media centers, like the amenities here are pretty off the charts, but the HOA I think is around $1,100 a month. Then you've got something like this 1750 Wiwata, which I believe is the Colorado building, 1.175 million, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,400 square feet. Again, views are going to be remarkable. Mountain views, city views, everything in between. Pool, gym, amenities, you name it. Again, you've got it. Parking in the building, ease of access to everything here at the Colorado. It's just a beautiful building. Then you've got something like this over on Wazi, which is kind of an older building that was maybe converted into lofts here. Beautiful, fully updated. Not going to be as many amenities here, but different lifestyle altogether. More access to street parking and things like that, if that's a priority for you, depending on where you work. Smaller balconies, not quite the views of some of the larger condos that are more on the skyscraper end of things. So that's kind of your mix in downtown Denver. As far as real estate available today, of course, you can get down into the 4 or 500s for smaller 1 bedroom, 1 bath condos with maybe not as many amenities, but you have your pick of the litter. Now, you might not think of downtown Denver as being really outdoorsy, but it actually is, compared to most cities at least. You're going to be walking distance to the Cherry Creek Trail and the South Platte River Trail, which run right through downtown. Perfect for biking, running, or long walks. Union Station has bike share and scooter programs if you want quick rides around the city. Of course, the mountains are about 30 to 40 minutes away, so it's easy to escape to hiking trails or skiing on the weekends. For sports and fitness, you've got gyms, yoga studios, pickleball courts, and don't forget, all three major sports stadiums are right next to downtown. Now, downtown is stacked with amenities. You've got Union Station with restaurants, coffee, direct train access to the airport. There are countless dining options down here, everything from Michelin-starred chefs to just casual breweries. Shopping is more boutique and niche compared to Cherry Creek, but you're a short Uber ride to Cherry Creek North if you want high-end retail. Day-to-day living covered with multiple grocery stores nearby, including Whole Foods, King Soopers, plus pharmacies, gyms, dry cleaners. And culturally, you're surrounded by the Denver Art Museum, the Colorado Symphony, Performing Arts Center, and comedy clubs, live music venues, and festivals almost every single weekend. So if you want entertainment at your doorstep, like downtown definitely delivers. Healthcare access is incredible. One of the strongest points for downtown living is healthcare access. You're within 10 to 15 minutes of Denver Health, Presbyterian St. Luke's, Rose Medical, and multiple specialty clinics. In the Union Station area itself, there's urgent care centers, dental medical offices, so you don't have to go far for day-to-day needs. It's hard to beat being this close to so many top hospitals, which is a huge peace of mind factor for retirees. Now, travel-wise, downtown is easy to get around, especially for airport access. Union Station is right at your backyard, and A-Line train takes you directly to DIA in about 35 minutes. No parking, no traffic, no stress. Or if you prefer to drive, you're about 30 minutes by car to the airport with multiple highway options. And of course, skiing, hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes away, depending on where you're going. Now, if you travel often or want quick access for visiting family, downtown is hard to beat compared to most places around the city. All right, so let's go over the pros of downtown. You've got entertainment and culture at your doorstep every night of the week. Walkability for groceries, dining, events, all on foot, all real easy. Healthcare proximity, multiple hospitals within minutes, easy airport access with the A-Line train straight from Union Station, and zero maintenance living. Condos and lofts just take care of everything for you. Now, here's the things to watch out for, the cons, if you will. Noise and crowds. You're going to be in the middle of the action, and it can get loud, so be ready for it. Hearing street traffic and sirens is the norm. It's going to be less private outdoor space. You're trading your backyard for balconies or rooftop decks. HOA fees, luxury condos with amenities often come with high monthly dues, not uncommon to have north of $1,000 a month in HOA dues. Parking, usually a garage or valet, not always included in those HOA dues. So you got to look at things closely, and street parking can be tough as a lot of it is metered. So if you crave peace and quiet, this may not be your neighborhood. Now, if you want to step out your door and be surrounded by energy, culture, and convenience, with the airport and hospitals just minutes away, downtown Denver is definitely tough to beat. It's for the retiree who wants to stay plugged in, active, and right in the middle of it all. Now, if you want more info, you can just call or text me on my cell phone here. But before you go packing your bags and moving to Denver, I'm sure we've all heard a lot of rumors about Denver, which is why I put together this video addressing the biggest concerns people have about living in our great city.